spirit of singing a new song to the Lord, we have a new joke today. Guy is up for our weekly joke.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A little girl didn't feel well in church. She said, "Daddy, I have to throw up." He sent her off to the bathroom, and she returned within a couple of minutes. "Feel better?" he asked. "Yes, I didn't have to go far. There was a box in the back that said for the sick."
Thank you. Yes. Always good to start off with a laugh, right? So, now that we've had some singing and some laughter, I will move on to my message for today, the space between the notes. So today, as we know, we have our Sing for Peace and Unity event, which I'm very excited about, and it had me thinking about music. And anyone who knows me finds out pretty quickly how much I love music, listening to it, playing it, singing it, just everything about music. And I have yet to find a music genre that I don't love. I love fast, slow, old, new, love songs, worship songs, dancing in the kitchen while cooking songs. Those are the best kind. I really love all of it, except maybe rap. Some might argue that rap is not actually music, but that's a topic for another time. Hopefully I didn't ruffle anyone's feathers about rap music. Anyway, I think the reason that I love music so much is because it takes all the chaos of human emotions and gives an order and a structure to it. Because emotions, by their very nature, are chaotic. They are unpredictable. They are all over the place. And this may be the reason that so many of us try to avoid emotion, because it makes us feel out of control. We often avoid our own emotion by stifling it, shoving it out of the way. We often avoid the emotions of other people by distancing ourselves from them or just telling them to calm down. Those are fighting words, aren't they? Have the words calm down ever at any point in history actually resulted in someone calming down? I don't know about you, but personally, hearing someone say calm down makes me feel very, very uncalm. Emotions can be difficult because they often seem to come out of nowhere and can be difficult to control. At times, we lack the ability to make sense of them, to put them into words. And one of the tasks of an effective counselor or therapist is to guide people in making meaning out of their emotions. And this helps us to feel like we're in control, and we like to be in control. But of course, therapy is expensive, and good therapists can be hard to find. And for me, I believe this is where music comes in. Because music is an expression of the entire range of human emotions, yet music, unlike emotion, is orderly. It has a clear structure with words and notes and instrumental arrangement. Music brings order to the chaos of our feelings. So when I was a little girl, my mother made me take piano lessons, which, as much as I love playing the piano now, I have to tell you honestly, I hated everything about piano lessons. I dreaded it all week long, having to sit there for an hour every week and subject myself to judgment of my skill or the lack thereof. And I especially hated having to practice every day. Of course, now I'm glad that I was made to do it because it has provided me with a valuable discipline for taming the chaos within my heart and making sense of all the emotions that exist, the good as well as the bad. So my piano teacher was kind of a legend in our small town. She imparted her musical wisdom to generations of children there, both before and after me. And she was an amazing teacher, and I really did love her. But just like all the best teachers, she was very annoying. Even today, I can still hear her voice counting when I play. And if I was messing up my timing, which I did a lot, her counting would get louder and louder. And so then she would almost be yelling, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I hit the wrong note, which happened often and still does, if I'm being honest, she would loudly sing the note that I was supposed to play. And I can still hear her voice from time to time when I'm playing, chanting F sharp, as if she's an angry character in a Broadway musical. But, well, and I should say I'm really grateful for her, She is a wonderful teacher and a wonderful person, but she was a good teacher and a strong teacher. But what stands out in my memory most of all was her insistence on rests. So rests, of course, are the places in a musical composition in which you just stop for a beat or 2 or 4. You simply stop playing and observe a carefully timed beat of silence in the midst of all the music. If you fail to observe those rests, your counting is thrown off and the melody is completely wrong. It just descends into chaos, the very opposite of what music is supposed to be. And there's a passage from 2 Corinthians 14, which explains this kind of musical disorder very well. In the case of lifeless things that make sounds, such as the pipe or harp, how will anyone know what tune is being played unless there is a distinction in the notes? Again, if the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who will get ready for battle? The purpose of music and of musical instruments is to communicate a message, to take the chaos of the raw emotions of life and give them sense and meaning, without distinct notes played in the right place and without the rests, the space between those notes, that message is garbled. And this was the reason that my piano teacher would periodically chant 1, 2, 3, rest, emphasizing the moments of silence with just as much force as she did the beats of sound. The rests, the spaces between the notes, they might seem like nothing. But like the white space in a colorful drawing or the blank days on a calendar, the spaces between the notes give meaning to everything else. Rests, white spaces, space between the notes are so essential to existence that God baked them into the creation of the world, as we read in Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing, so on the 7th day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. You might wonder, as I often have, why does God need to rest? He is all-powerful, far above all human weakness. Does God get tired? Why does he need to take a day of rest? Well, I believe it is for the same reason that we have rest within musical composition, that day of rest that pause in the work of creation gave meaning to everything else. Think of everything that had just happened: the earth, the skies, the sun, moon, and stars, the oceans, and all living things, including humankind, created within what was, for God at least, a very short space of time. That was an action-packed few days. Imagine if he had just gone back to life as usual immediately after that. Well, I finished creating the entire universe yesterday. That was fun. What's next? It would undermine the sheer magnitude of what God had done. That day of rest took place to signify that God's creation was perfect, just the way it was. The white space in God's master work of art was necessary to underline the beauty and vastness of this accomplishment. In that moment, there was silence, as God provided a space for breathless wonder, for enjoyment, for awe. Without a rest, the count would be off, and all sense and meaning would collapse. It is the same way with us. Our lives fill up so quickly with all kinds of noise, with all kinds of clutter, with emotions, with plans, with a chaos of color and music, which can be both exhilarating and overwhelming. I don't know about you, but I feel a sense of childlike excitement on the rare occasions when I have a totally empty day on my Google Calendar. Almost never happens. It's like the adult equivalent of getting a snow day, right? Oh, look, I have a day. There's something so compelling about a day that's empty of plans, because I know God has plans for that day, and his plans will, without a doubt, be much, much better than mine. I know, of course, that with the passage of time, those empty days are the least memorable. Chances are I won't do anything remarkable on an empty day. The rest between the noisy beats of life, I might go for a walk, make a casserole, learn a new song on the piano. In later years, it will not be a day that I look back to, like the day I move my daughter into her college dorm for the first time, or the day I visit the bedside of a dying person, or even the day I attend a fun social gathering and meet some new friends. But the rest, the empty day, exists so that I can better make meaning of the other days. The space between the notes is what gives the notes themselves their sound and sense. And what about silence? As much as I love music, I also really love silence. Anyone else who enjoys silence? Yeah. So often we are uncomfortable with silence. We feel the need to fill it with words, any words, just some kind of noise to make that awkward silence go away. But you know, silence is a powerful thing. It helps us tame our personal chaos, and it allows the Holy Spirit to speak to us more directly, free of distraction. Where do you find that space of rest, the space between the notes? Perhaps it's a room in your house which is quiet and clutter-free and allows you space to simply exist. Maybe it's a time of the day when you shut out the news as well as all messages and phone calls and just listen to your breathing and the sound of your own heartbeat. Perhaps, like me, it's the occasional empty day on your calendar that fills you with the excitement of new possibilities. Nature itself has its own pattern of beats and rests in the changing weather and seasons. Winter is not my favorite time, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way, but the empty white space of winter gives us space to reflect on the gloriously colorful canvas of all the other seasons. Seasons and moments of rest are part of every aspect of existence. And this, I believe, is why Sabbath rest is included as one of the 10 commandments in Exodus 20. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, for in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. You know, I find it interesting that the observance of rest is included here as one of the most basic requirements for being a decent human, right along with the commandments not to murder, steal, or commit adultery. It's that important. God insists upon that rest with all the stern demeanor of a good piano teacher. It's as if he's chanting the word loudly on the bench next to us. Rest. And I believe it's because that rest, that blank, empty space in the fabric of time is what leaves room for God to work. Without it, we lose our connection to our divine Creator. We lose our sense of childlike wonder at the awesomeness of his creation. We become mere machines of false productivity, no longer able to reflect the power of God who puts all our chaos into such glorious and perfect order. So let's embrace those times, those seasons, those spaces of silence, of emptiness, of rest, knowing that it is all part of God's beautiful plan, his perfect musical composition, his masterful work of art. And let us now join together in saying the prayer that he taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. So we're moving into our announcement time, and did anyone get a look at the garden as you came in today? It's looking so much better. Many thanks to Sandy Davis, who is not here. She's maybe tired from all her hard work out there. But Sandy and Chris, who worked very hard to get our garden looking pretty again. So I think that's deserving of a round of applause. Thank you for that hard work. And we are looking for donations of pumpkins still to decorate the front. So if you're able to do that, just drop a pumpkin off out front, and we'll put it out there, and we'll make our front entrance look even more beautiful. So that is the plan. Many thanks to everyone who helped out with our spaghetti dinner this past Sunday. Thank you to Guy for organizing, and all the people from our church and community who helped out. Even though we did not get the turnout that we hoped, it was still a wonderful time of fellowship with people in our community. There's still, I believe, donations coming in for Habitat for Humanity, but I believe we made close to $1,000 to benefit Habitat for Humanity, so that's a wonderful thing. And if you get a chance to look at our mural downstairs, we got some interesting ideas and some compelling ideas of different things we might do for our community. different opportunities that we can offer. So please check that out if you get a chance, as well as Sandy Bartholomew's wonderful illustrations of our ideas, which made it even more fun. Just as a reminder, we do not pass a collection plate during our worship service, but if you do feel moved to give an offering, there is a donation box on the back table in which you may put an offering if you feel moved to do so. Today is another busy, fun day here at the United Church of Warner. First of all, we have our council meeting taking place after coffee hour at about 11:30. We're going to gather up in the parlor for our council meeting. Then at 2 o'clock, we are welcoming the community into our space for Sing for Peace and Unity. This is a celebration of the UN Global Day of Peace, and there are other groups and communities all over the world engaging in this at the same time. Kristen Ingold will be leading us, and anyone is welcome to come. There is no cost for the event, even if you are, regardless of your singing ability or lack of singing ability, regardless of, this is something that's open to everyone. And so please feel free to invite anyone that you think might be blessed by this opportunity. We have Bible study at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning in the parish house. We are in the book of John. We're closing in to the end, but it takes us time because we like to talk about what we read and share our insights and perspectives. So please come on out for that if you would like. On Saturday, this Saturday morning, we have a group heading down to the Friendly Kitchen in Concord to serve breakfast to those in need. We do this from 7 to 9 p.m. on the fourth Saturday, not p.m., that would be ridiculous, no one's going to do that. 7 to 9 a.m. at the Friendly Kitchen in Concord. So if that's something you would like to get involved with, please speak to Carol McCausland. She's our organizer, and she will get you connected. It's a wonderful group that goes out to do that. Our next Red Cross blood drive is happening in our fellowship hall on Friday, October 3rd. So that's coming up pretty soon. And I believe there's a prayer shawl ministry group meeting that day as well, on that Friday. Our next church cleaning day, it sounds boring, but I like to think of it as a church cleaning party. That makes it sound a little bit more fun. That is happening on Saturday, October 4th. We're going to gather. We will have cleaning supplies and a list of jobs. We will be providing lunch as well as music. Very important, right? We've got to have good background music while we're cleaning. And we will be having door prizes as well. Just like when you're a kid doing the chores, there's got to be a little bit of a motivation, right? So that is starting at 9 o'clock a.m. Saturday, October 4th, and will continue until we're finished, which will most likely be after lunch because the afternoon slump, kicks in right after that. We have Fall Foliage Festival coming up. We are encouraging church members to go to the website and sign up to help out for a 2-hour shift in the information booth, selling raffle tickets, helping with parking. We do have some awesome new hats, which I forgot to bring, so I can't model them for you, but I'll send out a picture of me with the hat so you can see what it's like. But anyone who volunteers from the church will get their own awesome hat to wear. So that's a bit of an incentive as well. Our New Hampshire UCC annual meeting is on October 25th. That is happening at Geneva Point Conference Center in Moulton Borough. However, there is the possibility of attending virtually via Zoom. So it would be nice if we are able to get some delegates to represent our church in the voting there. The deadline to register for that is October 6th. There is a cost to register, but we have funds in our budget to cover you for that if you need it. So please let me know if you need help signing up or registering or with anything else related to the annual meeting. So that, thank you for your patience with that long list of announcements. We are busy around here, aren't we? Is there anything else that we need to include? Yes, Jim.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that, as I did last month, the Red Cross is always trying to make it a little bit more fun and interesting for people to come in. Last month it was different Snoopy t-shirts. This month it's anybody who donates, if they wish, can go online and they'll receive a gift card, Amazon gift card. So they're always trying to make it a little more interesting, and that's just an added incentive.
Very good, thank you. Yeah. So if you're able, of course, not everyone can give blood, but you know, I know there is quite a shortage. So we hope we can get people to come out and donate if they can. Anything else? Guy.
Let's see. This past summer, I went to a men's fellowship retreat at the Horton Center, and that group has started a men's fellowship group that would be open to the state, and they are going to meet via Zoom, so that we can cover a large span, and keep everything concise and help everyone meet. So that first meeting that we'll be having is coming this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. There'll be an email Zoom link sent out to me. I can forward that Zoom link to anyone that might be interested for that men's fellowship group.
All right, excellent. So if you would like to join a statewide Zoom men's fellowship group, talk to Guy and he will get you connected with that.